Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. It's good to see you again. Thanks for stopping by. If it's your first time here, definitely appreciate the support as we're growing the community. If it's not and you're returning, it's your second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth. Thank you so much, guys. I definitely appreciate your support as we grow our community. Put together a little video for you guys today on some tips and tricks. I know spring's right around the corner, so there might be some new owners coming into our community, and I put together a quick video of some tips and tricks on what I would do if I was going to be somebody who was purchasing a Corvette for the first time. So, with that being said, I don't like to waste a ton of time on intros. Let's go, guys. My first tip when it comes to buying a C6 Corvette, I would start with research. And what I mean by that, I would figure out what car I want, what my budget is, and what trim level is important to me with options. So motor, power plant, it's going to be important. LS2 car, LS3 car, do you want LS7, do you want LS9? There's a lot of options with these C6s and the motor side of things. So you got to kind of figure out what kind of power you want to put down to the concrete or the pavement for that matter when you're buying your C6 Corvette. If you've never had a C6 Corvette or V8 rear-wheel drive sports car before with manual transmission, I probably wouldn't start with the ZR1. Just a personal recommendation. But if you do, you player, that's not me. I love one. It's just that the power for me is a little bit higher than what I need right now for my daily use. Let's just say. But I would do the research. There's all kinds of trim levels with these. You can go with a 1LT with a Z51 package. You could go with a Grand Sport with a 3LT. So or you can go 4LT in a ZR1. There's all kinds of options available with these cars. Do you want a heads-up display? Do you want heated seats? What's important to you? So do the research, figure out what you want, and then you can kind of figure out what your adjustable market may look like currently, and before you just dive in and buy the first car you find. My second tip for you guys when it comes to purchasing your C6 Corvette, I would recommend personally running a vehicle history report. These are cars that are between 18 and 10 years old right now, and I have a feeling that you could probably hide a lot with these cars. They're fiberglass bodies. You can pop the panels right off. Sometimes they don't line up and the car could be just fine. So just run the vehicle history report. Have that solid peace of mind. They have a lot of owners, and just because a Corvette has a lot of owners doesn't mean it's a bad thing, guys. A lot of Corvettes will have a lot of owners because somebody will buy a Corvette and they'll just decide, this is not a good fit for me. It's not practical enough for me. I can't get in and out of it. And they'll go back to the dealership and trade it in for a Silverado or something. Or they'll buy it and their wife is like, what are you doing, you moron? You can't buy this. Our family can't fit in this thing. So they'll have to take it back to the dealership and they'll have to get something different, maybe a van for the family. Or people are just, they get old, they don't drive them a lot, and they get sat in the garage. They're more of a weekend car for a lot of people, and so they just seem to change hands from an ownership standpoint because they're as practical as a Corvette is, in my opinion. They're not for everybody for every day. So, but with all that being said, check the maintenance record, guys. Just learn a little bit more about the history of the car that you're going to purchase, and then that'll kind of segue into our next tip I'll recommend, and that's going to be maintenance and service. I personally, when I buy my cars, I actually ask the person I'm purchasing the car from, hey, do you have the service records? That's probably the first thing I ask them when I'm reaching out to them cold, if I find it on a marketplace or Car Gurus or something. Hey man, do you have the service records for that C6 Corvette by chance? I don't ever talk price first. I always ask for the service records. I want to know how the car's been maintained. It's important to me to know the history about it. I don't want to buy somebody else's problem or somebody else's headache with that being said. So if they have them available, great. If not, that's okay, because that's what we'll do the pre-purchase inspection. We'll find out all the skeletons, hopefully, that the car has, right? That's going to talk about our fourth points. It could be considered modifications and upgrades. These Corvettes, they have an awesome aftermarket support. A lot of parts available. They're great cars. You can make a lot of power with them. Sometimes when people modify them, though, it takes away from the reliability of them, and they're always doing things that may not be aesthetically your taste. You could buy a car that has maybe a giant wing on the back that you don't like, or black wheels or something like that, or the windows are too dark, or the top's the wrong color. People make these their own. They're kind of a canvas car in a sense. You can do a lot of customization with them to make the Corvette your own. So just when you're looking for these cars, be mindful of the modifications that are on them. And hey, is that going to make that car any less reliable? Would be the question I'll probably ask myself at that point. And then the next tip I have for you guys, and this is going to be probably one of my favorite. I've mentioned this before, is join the Corvette community. Whether it's participating in blogs online, watching these YouTube videos that people are making in the community, going to local car shows, cars and coffees, and just being around people that are in the community and get to know everybody. That's another tip I would recommend, because you're gonna be around people that have owned the Corvettes for a long time. They're gonna have experiences, stories. They're gonna tell you about their experiences with their cars. Which one did they like the best? Did they like their C7 better than their C6? Did they like their C5 better than their C4? You know, just having those conversations and the stories. You know, the stories you get in as part of that community are things that you take with you for a long time. And I'm a big story person, so joining communities for me it was a huge perk. I would recommend it as my 5th tip. And then for my 6th tip, kind of a bonus thing, and you guys may disagree with me on this, is when you have a Corvette, I personally believe there's a certain type of etiquette in which you should drive your Corvette. And what I mean by that is, don't hate me for this, guys. You don't need to be the center of attention, I guess, with the Corvette, or the most obnoxious person in the room, or the car show for that matter. There's plenty of other people, let them do that. But driving etiquette, you don't want to sit there and just spin the tires, and as much fun as that is, it's show off for everybody. Show a little bit of class and elegance with it, in my opinion. You know, don't put a bad rap on the community. We're not a Mustang community, and not there's anything wrong with the Mustang community. They're just different communities. But we're the Corvette community. We're classier. We don't want to get messed with by the police, because we're not going to break the laws. We're going to drive properly. We're going to follow the rules. We're in Mexico. Yeah, we'll do some street racing, but we're not going to do anything stupid. We're going to follow the laws, and we're going to drive like responsible adults. So just driving etiquette. That's going to be my 6th tip when it comes to Corvette ownership. Hope you guys found a lot of value in this video. I love making these for you guys and growing the community. Always a blast. Luckily, it's almost Corvette season. As I said, it's currently, right now, at my house, it's...
I feel like I'm losing my mind. Is everybody in the world blind? Please, Lord, give me a sign.
Which is washing off all the...
I feel like I'm
it will allow me to drive mine very soon.
Please, Lord, give me a sign, a sign.
I can make a video for you guys actually in the car here soon again. But once again, thanks so much for the support as we grow the community. Always a pleasure making these videos for you guys. Feel free to drop me a comment. Let me know what you think some of the tips were when you're buying your Corvette, or if you found a lot of value in this. I have a lot of other C6 Corvette videos. Please feel free to jump into those too. Until I see you again, guys, take care.